Okay, cool. Come and close the door. Put you down there. Get this scarf off. Right now, I am in Vilnius, Lithuania, and I was talking to a good friend of mine, Mr. Luke Dugan, to FBA UK. We were sitting down talking all things Amazon related, and quite simply, one thing that he talked to me about is he said, hey Tom, you know what? Sometimes, or quite a lot of the time, he'll say, I will reduce the price down, even if he's the lowest, to increase the sales, because he'd rather do more volume to get more profit than slow it down and get less sales and less profit. And I was like, I kind of understand what you mean and you're right, but I thought the question was, prove it. What I thought I'd do today is challenge that question. When should you reduce your price to get more sales? And when should you increase your price to slow it down? And how can you measure that? And quite simply, when is 30% ROI the target? When is 15% ROI actually better for your business? So let's ask that right question now. Jump on the computer right here. I've got it right here. We can answer that. So let's get recording, and I'm going to show you this now. Right, so great little product here. Now, quite simply, what am I looking at? Well, this product is a calculator, and the one thing that quite interests me, and I'm going to just jump over to the keeper chart. So just load it up here, is you've got like, basically right now it's about £12. It has been down to say £10.79. It's come back up again to about £12.75. And then interesting enough, in the past, in June, it was about £24, down to like 21. So if I kind of separate it and say in June it was about £23, but now it's probably been anywhere between 15 all the way down to £9.66. But if I averaged it out, £12, I think that'd be about a fair assessment. Now, the one thing which I'm asking is it better to sell at a higher price, slower sales, or lower price, faster sales? And what does it actually mean? So quite simply, let's have a quick look at sales count. So June, we've got, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, call it 12. 13, call it 13, that's fine. So say 13 at roughly £23, and then however many at roughly £12. So let's jump back to the listing. Let's do the calculation. So we kind of said, if you want to know, you can buy this product now, £5.40. Okay, £5.40, and we said we could sell it for about £23. We're gonna do a calculator. So right now, you've got the option of doing £23, or you've got the option of doing it at £12. Now, on the face of it, I know what I'd rather have. I'd rather have £23 sale price than 12, of course. Even at £12, you're doing £1.88 or £1.81 and 33% ROI. Not too bad, but obviously not particularly where you want to be. And I haven't really got any costs in here. So the question you might ask is, or the question I'm asking is it better to sell it at the higher price or the lower price? Well, the one factor we don't ever take into consideration whenever we are talking about profit, ROI, £3 profit, 30% ROI, sales per month, or sales. Doesn't matter how much money you're making. If you're not selling it, it doesn't matter. But sales is such a big impact. So quite simply, if we just look at on a monthly basis, have a quick estimation. So, we talked about this product. It was doing on the 23, it was doing roughly 13 sales a month. So let's put that in, and let's just put 13 in and calculate that. So at 13 sales a month on £23, you're going to make £144.69. Nice. I'll take £144, not going to complain. But the question is, if I put it to 12, and let's just kind of go up now, 123 to 144, I know sales estimators aren't brilliant. Let's just do 130 in the middle. 235. That is quite a lot more. That's quite interesting. You decrease the price to increase the sales, and then you make more physical profit. Yeah, your ROI is not as good, but at the end of the day, we want cash in the bank. And I think we need to explore this further. So I'm going to take this, and you guys are going to sit up there because it's just not very comfortable here. So let's go. I'm going to set you up there. Let's see if I can do it from here, nice and close. Yep. This made me think about doing a spreadsheet which is going to show it all. When you've got a £3 profit product, 30% ROI or 15%. Now we've already looked at it on a monthly basis and said, well, the sales per month are better when it's lower price. and we see that we're going to make more physical cash. That's all very well and good, but how do I know like what's going on? Let's just jump on here quickly and I'll kind of just map it out and try and explain it to you and show you where I went with this. Number one, it's not just so it's an exercise in doing numbers. It's actually quite fundamental to understanding how your business should be running and when you should take a lower ROI and when you should take a higher ROI. And quite simply, you can see I've just put in like the buy price, low ROI, buy price, sell price, sorry, £12, high ROI, £23, and we put in the sales month there and you can see the monthly profit. Now, this kind of led me on to the question about, forget the ROIs we're working on here. When should you do 15 or when should you do 30? So I kind of got the same product and just put them in. So let's kind of scroll across and have a look at that. So quite simply, exactly the same product. If I were to put it at 15% ROI, £5.40, £10.82, I'm gonna make 81p, 15% ROI. And again, for 30% ROI, £1.62. Stands to reason, you're gonna make more money on 30%, so obviously hence everyone's saying 30% ROI is what you should be doing. The next question I thought about, well, 30% ROI and 15% ROI, obviously on the face of it, one's bigger than the other. That's all very well and good, but what we've seen already is it's about sales. Sales, not just ROI, and that has an impact. So my real question was it's about time. I've kind of put in here, we've got like, when we buy a product, what's going on? We buy it and then we ship it to the warehouse or your home. It then goes Amazon, it goes warehouse processing, and then it gets shipped to Amazon, and then it gets checked in on Amazon. Amazon moves it around, whatever it does, and then obviously it's waiting to be sold, on the buy box or not, and then Amazon disbursement account, which is really annoying. So obviously that has a time from the moment you spend it to get that money back in the account to invest it in new stock, and obviously the more we can do this, the better. So I kind of thought about the different things, and I'll just drop them in here. So let's kind of uncover. So I kind of thought about ship to the warehouse, maybe 3 days, Amazon, the warehouse processing it maybe 2 days, UPS take 4 days to get it to Amazon, Amazon check it in 2 days pretty quick, they're moving it around, and maybe, if it's low ROI, it waits 2 weeks and it gets sold, but then I have to wait 14 days, 2 weeks for it to eventually get my money back in my account. And again, that's going to be about 39 days. Now, what I know, and if I do high ROI, I know some people who talk about, I will wait, they'll say it on the Facebook groups, I will wait 3 months to make sure I get the ROI that I want. I'm not saying they're waiting 30% ROI, but you know the point. They're waiting 3 months for it. So I put in there 3 months, 2 weeks or 3 months. Do you wait 2 weeks to get 15% ROI, or do you hold, get that 30% ROI that you originally wanted? Well, you can see it goes from 39 days to 115. I was like, okay, so now we know the time, we know the ROI and the time, now what? Well, if we know how much money we're making and we know how long it takes to make that money, then how do we compare 15 to 30% ROI? They're different dates and they're different ROIs. It starts getting a bit confusing. It's like, ooh, you can see my house. I'm in Lithuania, Vilnius, very nice. I'll show you some videos of actually the castle that I went to today and around it. Beautiful city. If you ever get a chance, come in. 15% ROI in 39 days or 115 days to get 30% ROI. Which one's better? What I thought about was if you've got a product selling at 15 days, 15% ROI, and it's doing what I think it's doing I put it in here, 39 days to get 15% ROI. And then the other one is doing 115 days to get 30% ROI. How many times could you do that in 1 year? If we were only investing in that one product, different ROIs, how many times could we do it? Now, it's not to say that you're going to have one person doing it 15% ROI on the same product that someone's doing at 30, but across the range of products that you have, some of them will be 15, some will be 30. So the question comes is which one should you do? So then I thought about how many times can you turn that product in a year? Well, at 15% ROI and 39 days, I could turn it 9.4 times. 30% ROI, 115 days, sell them, buy the product, sell it and get my money back. I can turn it three times in a year. If I know how many times I can turn it in a year, and if I know how much profit I'm making, which one's better? So let's have a look at that now. Just put in the profit. So also we know 81p, 15% ROI, and £101.62p, 30% ROI. And remember, how many times can we buy it, sell it within a year? And at the end of the year, which method is going to have more profit? Big reveal coming up now. Voila! Selling it at 15% ROI, making a measly 81p profit, but managing to do it 9 times in a year means you're going to make £7.29 profit. But if you hold out for those 3 months to get the 30% ROI, and because you're selling it a lot less times, you're going to only make £4.86. So if you were to use this method, and I'm not even including compound interest here, we are just purely talking about the same money reinvesting in the same product the moment we get that out, is to say that when you sell it at 30% ROI and you wait longer, in this case, you are going to make less money over the course of a year than you will make at 15% ROI going forward. Now that is quite groundbreaking. That kind of throws in the face of everything that I kind of read in the Facebook groups about £3 profit, 30% ROI, and how you need to be selling that. And that really made me think, about how I do my products, what I sell, and the way they work. Now, the question I asked of Mr. Luke Diane is, we've now proven the fact that there are occasions whereby 15% ROI will beat 30% ROI over the course of a year, and that's the strategy you should take because of the increased sales. But the next question I'm going to ask is, how can you actually do this in your business? How can it make an impact into your Amazon business? And this is where we took it the next step further. Well, I sat there and I started thinking about what's the way we can make a difference. Let's go through it now and show you how I've used this number to kind of understand what stock I want to keep buying and what stock maybe I don't. Well, what I thought about was quite simply is, if we have, let's say for example, I want to understand, I will record the day I purchased an item, so I'll record it on my purchase sheet, and I'll record the day I sold the sheet. And I can work out the difference between the two. So I'm going to understand what was sold, or how long it took from the moment it purchased to it sold, and I'm going to add those 14 days on. So let's say, for example, right now, mine is running at 36 days, which is pretty good. You've got to add 14 onto that, by the way. So if I just add the 14 on there, equals, and I know this because I'm tracking this myself, 14. So then I'm going to do turns per year. So in a typical year, how many times could I buy this product, sell it, and go on? So right now you can see it 50 days in total to get my money back. I'm going to get 7.3 turns per year. So the ROI of my product, and let's say for example, I run at 15% on that one product. So for one product, I know it takes me 50 days, buy it, get my money back in my account. I know I'm going to get 15% ROI on the product because I've sold it, 15% ROI. And that's going to give me what's known as an annualized ROI. Now this sounds a bit technical, and it is. And I did have to look up a bit of stock market stuff. It was quite confusing, but I got there in the end and I figured it out. So it gave me what's known as an annualized ROI. And it was that annualized ROI, which was a number. It's quite simply just how much ROI I'm making now multiplied by the number of times I can make that ROI in a year if I only invested in this product. And that number for me is 150. Now, what I thought about is, that's great, but what can I do now? Well, what I looked at was that look at every single product you buy, get that annualized number. You might have, I've got it down here, 150, like 152, 160, and then I might have one product that's giving me 50. And what I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at those products which are giving me a much lower annualized return than the average of all my other products. What does that then mean? It means that I'm going to stop buying that product and focus more on ones which are giving me a much higher annualized ROI. That sounds bloody complicated. Quite simply, I'm going to give every single product that I buy, once it's sold, should we say, once a product's sold, is going to have a number. And I'm going to look at all those numbers across my entire business. And I'm going to look at the ones which are small, stop buying them, and I'm going to look at the ones which are higher and buy more of them. And that is going to allow me to understand that sometimes when I only make 10% ROI, 15% ROI, it's actually going to be better than holding out, waiting for 30, 40, 50% ROI. The one thing which I'm going to say to you quite simply is the fact that this model that we're looking at now only really works with bigger sellers. If you are a smaller seller who, you've got a lot of like administration, a lot of prep, it's going to just, the more you try and turn stock, the more administration you've got and the more work it's got to be. But interesting enough, when you kind of get to a certain scale, and you probably say at least over the VAT threshold, these start of numbers are going to really start impacting your business and start having a look at how you understand which deals are working and which ones really aren't. And on the face of it, it might look like it is, but when you do that analysis, it's not. So if you are thinking about this, just a top tip for you guys, if you are maybe just starting out, this probably isn't such a good number that you want to be looking at right now, because obviously the more you turn your stock, the more physical prep you got to do, the more administration you got to do, When you're under the VAT threshold, try and aim high profits. But when you go over, this is something that starts becoming really more interesting. That's actually going to start help growing your business. So that is a little bit from me. And the question I'm going to ask you is, maybe you found that a bit too complicated. Do you need me to do another video on it, break it down even more? Or hey, maybe you liked it. Maybe you think, actually, I'm going to reevaluate all the products I'm doing now. And actually, you know what? I think I like this so much that I'm actually probably going to start thinking about adding it into the ultimate sourcing sheet. This is a sheet we help management of Amazon sellers' accounts. What I'll do is I'll drop a link around here. But from me, Thomas Parkinson, thank you very much. Oh, by the way, hit the like button, smash it, hit subscribe, show YouTube you love that video.